All right, here we go. So we're gonna get some vinyl on the Tacoma yet this weekend. If you saw the last video, I did the prep. Sorry, I know it sounds like I'm losing my voice. I don't know what it is. I was outside most of yesterday, put a new basketball hoop up in the driveway, playing with the kids. Not really sure if it's just from being out. I mean, it's like 25 degrees, in North Dakota up here, so it's been a little chilly, but yesterday wasn't so bad. Anyway, so bear with me. My voice is a little coarse, but I want to get this taken care of while I've got the truck in the garage, so I'm going to pursue through, but maybe not talk as much as I normally would. So in this video, what I want to do is get the front door wrapped on the passenger side. So in the last video, we took the mirror off, took the handle off. We had the original Tacoma badge on the door. We shaved that off and cleaned the adhesive. I've already did a wash. I've got the rubbing alcohol that I've already did a good scrub. Got underneath all of the gaskets and moldings around the handle and the perimeter, so that way it's basically ready to go. And just before I get the vinyl onto the panel, I want to get this decal on here. So if you remember, on the driver's side, I threw a Tacoma decal on the body, on the door first, and then wrapped over it. And then what that's going to reveal is like an embossed Tacoma badge or logo or decal under the vinyl, and it's going to raise that and shadow that emblem a little bit, or that appearance from the decal. And it's kind of a subtle look. It's more of a ghosted, not something that really sticks out. And most of the time, people probably won't even see it, especially at this lower angle. But it is a cool trick, and it's something I've been playing with. It's already on the driver's side, so we'll go ahead and match it on the passenger side, of course. So we'll get this installed, get the vinyl lined up, peel the backing off, and then really start just going after it and glassing out the panel. I'll stop and kind of update as I'm going through a little bit, but really just going to kind of go through that process as a whole. Then we'll make the cut, make the trim, start tucking in underneath the gasket, and this will really take shape pretty quick. So let's get after it and start with that decal. Okay, there you go. So as you can see, in really just a few minutes, in just a few minutes how quickly you can really take shape of the panel by really just making sure that before you start to really apply with any pressure the vinyl to the panel that you're wrapping, just get the slack or the material pulled taut to the perimeter, and that's really kind of the term of, in the vinyl world, glassing out the panel, which is just basically making it smooth. Now I feel like I've pretty well balanced the tension of the material all the way around, and the first thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to shoot for the deepest part, which was this body line right here. You can see it on the back door. It's right in here. I'm just going to shoot for that body line and hit that first, because now I'm balancing the material into there to feed that, and so that's going to help relieve the tension and prevent it from having wanting to work itself back out. And so I'm going to go that route and grab my glove, use the combination of the squeegee. I'm going to take a little bit of soapy water and I'm just going to spritz it on here just to make sure I get good slide, and really start locking this into place on the door. Okay, so as you can see, just take your time, be patient. It can be a little tedious. Just don't get in a rush. It'll all work out. Use a combination of a couple tools and just lift and tuck and lift and tuck and lift and tuck. The gasket material is usually pretty easy to work with. Sometimes it's just easier to remove it, but a lot of times you don't really need to. So just slowly work your way around until you get all the way around to the finish. It's tucked back there far enough now to where you can't see that edge, and it looks complete. So now I'm gonna hop back down to the bottom side, get the rest of that, because I haven't gone below the body line where I started and worked up. Once that's in place, then it's just trimming the perimeter, getting that edge tucked around the perimeter of the door, and that's pretty much it. Start reassembling. So not too much longer. All right, so I'm ready to make my cut. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just leave just enough knife out, and I'm gonna let the plastic, using a plastic knife is really ideal when working with vinyl, just to be caution and reduce the risk of damaging the paint, especially on the edges between panels. So what I'm gonna do is just leave a little bit of knife through, and I'm gonna ride the knife on the adjacent panel around the perimeter of the door. So I'm not gonna ride it on the edge of the door. I'm gonna use the gap between the door to the fender, the door to the upper molding or A pillar that goes to the roof line, the front door to the back door. I'm going to use the gap between those two panels as my guide to make it to leave a little extra material that will wrap around the edge to the inside of the door. And so that's just a good way to give you a clean cut for one, and a little extra material that will wrap around just to catch that edge of the panel that you're wrapping. So I'm just going to use the adjacent panels as my guide as I work around. The exception of that, the bottom's a little bit tough because of the way that it tucks down to the rocker molding below the doors. It's not, you can't really get a good clean cut in there the way the material is fed and kind of tucked into that. So I'll basically get myself up and around and down to where I can comfortably open the door, and the only vinyl that'll be left is at the bottom, and then I will make that cut and then wrap the material around. I think that's just the way that I'm going to do it. There might be different ways that can be handled, but that's how I'm going to do it in this case. And there we have the front door is wrapped on the Tacoma. So made a little more progress this weekend, got everything prepped. I got the next door cut, I've got the tailgate, or I'm sorry, the box side is cut. I've got the other strips that will do the below the door and above the door, that's cut, and I should actually still have some material left to feed in between the two openings here. Because the way the configuration is, you can really see between there if I don't tuck further in on the jamb between the front and rear door. But from this point, let's just get everything reassembled. It's already getting kind of late this evening. Back to work tomorrow. It is Sunday night, so I want to get this ready to go so I can drive. But a little bit of progress, so I'm glad I was able to pull it in this weekend. It has been some time since I pulled the truck in. You haven't seen a video on it for a while. It's been a year, honestly. So I'm excited to make a little bit of progress, chip away a little bit by little bit to try to knock this thing out. So here we go. Let's get the handle back on, the mirror back on, the door panel back together, and we'll be ready to call it a night. And there we are. Thanks for watching. Got another panel done with Tacoma. Excited to get some more progress. As I have opportunities in the coming weeks, I'm going to do the same thing. Pull it in, keep making my way down, and eventually, hopefully pretty soon, have everything complete and touch the final details and really kind of be ready for the next adventure. And I've been openly trying to find myself another project. This is kind of the daily, everyday driver. I've been looking at another project to try to bring in and do a build sequence with, and really kind of keep some content fresh beyond the window tint and tinting taillights and all that other type of content that you've been seeing on the channel. So I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Really what you're going to find is just me tinkering in the garage, try to explain a little bit of value while I'm doing so, and help you out and really inspire you to just find a hobby, find a passion, whether it's your own vehicle or you're doing it for others. If you really enjoy it, that's really what you're going to see here. Any questions, comment below, anything you've got in regards to what you've seen or any of the previous videos as you kind of search on the channel. So again, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.